I just got back from watching Deadpool, and I don't even care about Zoolander 2 anymore, but I've written the script, I've written the review, and I paid $22 real to see this movie. And I have some things to say.
Oh my god!
Hey. Awful. Zoolander 2 is written by Ben Stiller and the team of geniuses who brought us the original Zoolander. It also is directed by Ben Stiller. It's also starring Ben Stiller as Ben Stiller. And a plot overview is kind of difficult considering there are 3 plots. One is, all of the pop stars in the world are being killed and they're all pulling blue steel as they're being killed, which is the one that you know from watching the trailer. The second one is, oh no, the school that I built was actually made out of rubber cement and it killed my wife. Let's find my son. And the third one is just, oh, there wasn't just Adam and Eve, there was Steve as well. He was the first male model, and turns out if you get a descendant of Steve and take their blood, that's the fountain of youth. Yeah, that's really all you need to know. That is all you need to know right there. Off the bat, this movie really isn't directed too terribly. The opening action scene, which is beautiful, by the way, is fast-paced and doesn't cut so fast that you have a seizure and you just bleed from your nose. And the comedic timing, especially when it comes to awkward silence, is done fairly well. I just wish there were some jokes. The scenes where the movie didn't take itself too seriously were absolutely hysterical. Like, honestly, the start of this movie felt like a toned-down version of Kung Fury on the big screen with probably exactly the same budget, actually. I feel like most of the budget went to Ben Stiller doing a lot of coke on set, and then the rest was made with, like, couch change. Yeah, I'm convinced, actually. I genuinely laughed a lot in the first 5 minutes of this movie. But then Ben Stiller came along, and that brings me to my biggest problem in Zoolander 2. The satire really doesn't work at all, especially when it comes to Ben Stiller. And hey, don't get me wrong, I enjoy the first Zoolander for the first 20 minutes, then it gets a little bit stale. Then it gets dumb. And it's like, okay, well, it's not like a satirical masterpiece, but I can live with it because it brings consistent laughs. This movie has exactly the same problem, but without the consistent laughs, and it gets dumb. Like, really dumb. Like, terrible after the first 5 minutes. Haha, get it? Because models are dumb. Is funny for 2 seconds, then I want something new, I want something fresh, which is what this movie tries to offer in the form of blown out stereotypes that aren't funny in the first place, and they just keep on going with them and keep on going with them, and I understand, but it's just stupid. There are so many groups and types of people that this movie attempts to make fun of and satirize, but it doesn't work because it's not creative in the slightest to begin with. At one point they make fun of BDSM, non-binary genders, plus-size models, and that is completely fine if you can actually make it funny. Pretty much everything is on the table with this sort of movie, but nothing is clever. There's no thing that makes me laugh about it. It's just you going like, hey, get it? This little kid's fat. Huh. Plus-size model. What's up? Hire me. Ooh. Whoa. Oh, you said hashtag. Whoa, that's hilarious. Dude, bro, hip, son. Ooh. Please take me into the darkness and shoot me in the face. Zoolander 2 isn't a satirical masterpiece, which is something that I can definitely live with, but even if it were, it would be completely wasted on its audience. Seriously, the people that are going to see this are like, oh, it's funny because Ben Stiller, oh, he done a backflip, I remember that movie in 2001. Oh, yeah, boy. Oh, let's rent it. Oh, yeah, ooh. The people that are going to see this are the same people that walked out of Borat and called it, oh, racist propaganda. And that's completely fine. Honestly, this movie would have been so much better if it just dropped the satirical angle that really didn't hardly even worked in the first one and just focused on dumb comedy or dumb spy comedy because that's the only stuff that actually works in here. They make fun of spy movies in the start, they make fun of action movies, and then the rest is basically just referencing themselves and oh, celebrity cameo, get it because Billy Zane, get it because Sting is Owen Wilson's father in this. What the hold me back. And yes, this movie is ridiculous, that is the point of it, but it's not like that next level. There's a part where Ben Stiller is half man, half cow, and he's being milked. And he's like, moo! Which honestly reminded me of The Wave, the like 6-year wave of really bad parody movies like Meet the Spartans, epic movie, disaster movie. And really, at the end of the day, that's what this movie kind of is. It's not often that I say this, but this movie needed more dumb shit for me to laugh at, honestly, instead of just self-referential humor for the sake of it. Oh, celebrity cameo, get it? Oh, Sting is in this movie. Whoa, that's hilarious, bro. The opening scene with Justin Bieber flipping off walls, snapping someone's neck, being shot in slow motion on and off for a whole minute, then tweeting a picture of him dying, going through all the Instagram filters to finally choose the right one, took about 30 seconds, sharing it, then dying, was gold. It really was gold compared to the rest of the movie. It's what I needed, and it's what this movie needed. We needed more scenes where Derek and his son get in a completely over-the-top car crash, where they spin for like 20 seconds and explosions everywhere, and there's obvious stunt dummies. Instead, I got more celebrity cameos than all of the Sharknado movies combined, with even worse CGI and even worse pop culture references. Oh, and a miscarriage joke. Like, they don't even try to make it clever or attempt to make it funny. It's just this person saying, I lost the baby, and apparently it was a joke. To be fair, it is a guy, and it's part of the long-running joke that just sucks about Owen Wilson saying the word orgy, but still, it's really not that funny. Overall, Zoolander 2 wasn't as terrible as I expected. I genuinely laughed a lot. I almost cried in 2 scenes from laughter, and I got a few minor chuckles. But that being said, though, the cringe to laugh ratio was like 30-1, so I really can't recommend it. If you liked the trailer or the first movie, you'll probably really enjoy it. For the people who cringed at the trailer, like me, this movie isn't the worst thing in the world. The good parts are fairly good, like actually pretty good, but they're way too few and far between for me to ever recommend this movie to anyone who didn't like the trailer or the first one. And that's why Zoolander 2 gets a 3 out of 10. Would have been funny if I said, oh, Zoolander 2 gets Zoolander 2 out of 10, but it kind of deserves a 3, almost. Have you guys seen this movie? What did you think of it? I just went to see Deadpool, and I actually just got back, so the review will be written tomorrow, probably the day that you're watching this, and then it will be up the day after you watch this. So hey, that's fun. Anyway, get hyped for that review. Also, have a great day and happy watching. I'm sweating like a pig. That's gonna be in the video. Solid. Scene, which is in the trailer, and believe it or not, still isn't the last time we see Elfie's genitals, where he is bullied by his old school buddies to, how do I put this lightly? Teabag a swan. There's a close-up of his balls, like going around the swan's head, then it gets spooked and bites them and hangs on and flaps its wings for a whole excruciating 10 seconds.